Welcome to the Ingrid Centurion podcast. I am retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel, Iraq War veteran, Black Hawk pilot, and founder of Generations for America, Ingrid Centurion. In this podcast, we discuss America's constitutional battles and undertake in engaging and comprehensive interviews with legal experts, whistleblowers, and insiders. We uncover the stories that others won't touch, from government overreach to erosion of liberties. Each episode dives into today's most pressing issues and empower listeners with knowledge to protect their rights. No fluff, no spin, just raw conversations for serious times.
Your rights are only as strong as your understanding of them. Right now, Americans are losing freedoms, often without realizing it. That's why the Shield of Rights program from Generations for America Foundation exists. We deliver scenario-based constitutional training from a law enforcement perspective, so you know exactly how your rights apply when it matters most. Freedom doesn't survive on silence or ignorance. Go to Generations for America Foundation website, sign up today, and defend your liberties before it's too late.
Welcome, Roxana Massie, founder of the Spanglish Small Business Association. I am so happy to have you on the Ingrid Centurion podcast today because you are building bridges through business and you are making small businesses come together into the community. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is an honor for me to start talking. This is more like the association. This is a movement that we pretty much just are creating because it's not just me. I just brought the idea, just put everything together, and then, the business owners, the entrepreneurs, the organization, and, corporations that are interested in this project is just pretty much just the movement that we're creating. Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been in South Carolina and a little bit of your background?
Okay, well, I have been in South Carolina for about 15 years now. I got here on 2011, or maybe I think in December the 2010. So I live in pretty much just Lexington, then Northeast in the Columbia side, and then Sumter, and now here in Somerville. So I've been here in Somerville for about 11 years now.
Wow, so you've been all around South Carolina. Many of us just come here and we land in Charleston and we never leave. So so you got a good feel for South Carolina. Now, what problem were you trying to solve in forming this organization?
Well, I think since you met me, so I've been doing, events for the community. And when I start seeing that, a lot of people lose opportunity every time that whether they're vendors, whether they're business owner, wherever they face somebody that doesn't speak Spanish or vice versa, they don't do the sale, they don't close the deal. They are pretty much just having barriers, right? So, and then I saw that I'm an accountant. That's what my background is. So I've been in the accounting field for about 23 years. So I know businesses. I was a plant controller. I did an expansion in Sumter actually for 4.5 years there. I have 3 expansions right there. We started for the green. That was my PhD because that's what I learned a lot about numbers, about investments, and everything that you have to build to create a huge plant like that one. But anyway, so I saw the need in the community that there was the Hispanic community is growing. I see a lot of entrepreneurs that they cannot, get sources. They don't know how to open doors. They don't know. And I said, you know what? I started in 2024 when the Spanglish Small Business Expo was an amazing event, and you were part of it. You experienced that. So we have a lot of like a business power hour. What are the problems that, what crashes a small business? Why they have to close doors? And everybody have a dream, but they don't look for the sources, or they're not open to be out of the comfort zone just to try to communicate, despite that they don't speak English or Spanish. So this idea came up from that, and we evolved now to the association this year. I started doing events like networking events. And I said, I don't want this to be a networking event itself. We are the bridge connector. Everybody that comes to you have experience are networking. So I have two different events throughout the month. One is the Latina Pitch. It gives you the opportunity to go up there, just speak about your business, present me your business, pitch me, your call to action. What is your ideal client? What is your mission? What is your vision? So I want this create a space where everybody comes and they get better and better. And as we do it, we pretty much just bring judges where they can tell you exactly what you need to improve or who is the winner, because there will be always someone that, speak clearly, tell the mission, exactly what it is, tell the name, the business, and also bring brochure. So they sell their business. And in the marketing world, you need to be visible. You need to be known before you're needed. In that way, people, whenever they need you, they will call you. They don't call somebody else.
So one of the things I want to say is that business is the universal language.
Exactly.
When we remove language barriers, we create opportunities. And that's what you're doing. I see a lot of businesses in the community that only cater to a certain group of people. Everyone should be your customer. Doesn't matter what language they speak. And America is becoming so multicultural, and the Hispanic community and the entrepreneurs are one of the fastest growing business owners in the nation, right? And connecting English and Spanish speaking businesses is so important here. And I think what you're doing is an amazing thing. And the numbers tell the story. Hispanic Americans contribute to over 4.1 trillion annually across the United States. And if Latinos were an independent nation, their economy would rank among one of the largest in the world. So we really need to make sure that those Hispanic entrepreneurs are doing well, are successful, raise good families. And we all know that South Carolina is growing tremendously.
It's so fast growing. It's like every time that I also work in Cumulus Media. So I said, I do marketing to serve the community. And every time that we do an inventory count of our audience, it's growing massively. It's just crazy the way from 3 months from now, it's like the numbers keep growing. And then it's like, where are we going to put these people, But it's true. And the Hispanic community is there. And we are one of the forces that, are very creative. We create businesses. We work really hard. And we want to be independent. So we are a small businesses owner. We're entrepreneur, bringing ideas. And sometimes it's truly sad when you see that, a new business invested all the money they have, and then suddenly in a year, they close the doors because they don't look for the sources. They don't even know that, there are places like this one that where you can network. For the Hispanic people, it's really hard to do the networking because we work so many hours, long hours, and then you just keep working Monday to Monday. You never stop. But then I keep telling people, you need to be out there. You need to be visible. You need to know people that will help you. Despite that you speak the language or not, you can still connect through the bridge connector, this foundation that we're creating here.
So let's talk about restaurants, because there's so many Hispanic restaurants. There's so many Mexican restaurants.
Yes.
You never see the Mexican restaurants go out of business. You never see the Mexican restaurants hardly go out of business. Where you're having your meetings, though, at a Puerto Rican restaurant.
That's right.
Talk about La Ascensión, why you chose La Ascensión, and that's where your meetings are being held.
Yeah, well, I started in another restaurant, and then what I want to do is create a space, not just for me, but for everybody else. So I am creating lunches time, the pitches during lunch. I may open it online later on. I'm going to start, creating as we go. We will create new avenues for people to connect. But right now, I'm very good friend of Maria, the owner, and we talk about it. So I know when she started with a food truck on one of my events in the Latino Bazaar Market. That's how I started my entrepreneur life here. And I met her and I saw her to grow. She went to the radio and I offered her something that is called Sweet Deals. We pretty much just became partners. And I told her, listen, I'm going to start doing events throughout the city. And I would like to work in your restaurant. What is your slowest day, throughout the business days? And then she said, Wednesday. I said, well, we can create an event where we can bring people. It's going to start from maybe few, depends on what it will show, but little by little, with consistency, it will grow. And that's the idea. So help her as a small business owner, just to bring a community, also to try the Hispanic, the Puerto Rican food is delicious. So why not? And then eventually I will rotate, right?
I want to talk about this because I took my mom out of the assisted living facility and I took her to La Sensacion, and she thought she was in Puerto Rico.
That's awesome.
She was so happy in there, and she was eating the food, and she was really happy. So this is also building cultural understanding of so many different South American countries and so many different groups that we have here. So this is also beyond restaurants.
Yes. And then for me, with the vision that I have in the Spanglish Small Business Association, it's not only business. We're sharing here. We are learning about culture, how to work with each different culture. Because, for example, Hispanic people are always late. But when they start working and getting contracts and they start working with American people, they need to be very structured. They need to meet the contract regulations. They have to have the paperwork they need. And then you have to learn from it. And when we bring the community, the American community, say, okay, the Hispanic work this way. We never stop because we get the things done. And it's learning about culture. It's learning about, the way of thinking. It's not only for business, but the connections that we're doing, they are very amazing. It's just, well, last night you experienced that. We have a band that they are business owners. They are trying to grow. And then eventually right there, the culture that they brought, it was, the native music that we pretty much is a root, right? So that was amazing.
So where do you see the Spanglish Small Business Association in 5 years from now?
Well, what I see I'm looking for the founding members. So I want to get to 100 right now. That would be my top for the founding members. But in 5 years from now, this is the new, bilingual entrepreneurial ecosystem. We are bringing a lot of things to town, but I don't see it only Charleston. I don't see it only South Carolina. This would be everywhere else because it's something that we are, it's needed in every community. And as more people understand that this is a movement that we are working on it, so this is going to grow and grow and grow bigger. That's my vision in 5 years from now, is being everywhere. Mm-hmm.
I think another thing that's really important about this that a lot of other organizations are doing is you're doing mentoring and you're giving these educational programs. You recently had artificial intelligence and how to use artificial intelligence to help you grow your business. Talk a little bit about that because that was really excellent.
Yes. And then, each session, so each month I bring a workshop. I want to teach people my expertise. So marketing goes, very broad. And nowadays, when, AI is so important that you keep updating yourself. In order for you to have more tools, if you cannot hire somebody, you can pretty much just use the AI in order for you to have agents, in order for you to have programmers, in order for you to have, people that will support you behind AI, the screen. You pretty much just need to learn what the prompts are. Your business more than anybody else. And you need to use AI in order to, help you to grow and not be stuck right there. So
tell us again, how many events are you having and where do you want people to be next?
So we host 3 events and I call it, the 1, 2, 3. First of all, it's just one Latina pitch, and that will be the second Wednesday of each month. That's 12 to 2, and that is on La Sensacion Latina, so in North Charleston. I'm going to have it there, and I'm going to consistently be in there in order for me to grow that. Then I have the Spanglish connector just to start to pretty much whatever you experience in the pitch, we can work together, give advice, talk about marketing, talk about numbers. Now I'm going to bring you aboard because I want you to teach us, you in one of the pitches. So Ingrid have won pretty much twice because the way that she presents her nonprofit organization is outstanding. And then you need to, you need to be firm. You need to have a clear picture, a clear pitch for you to present your business. Nobody else is going to sell it better than you do. And you need to learn from that. So you need to say your name clearly. You need to speak. You need to say the business name clearly, loudly. So it doesn't matter if you have a microphone. You need to understand that everybody has to remember the name of your business. You need to talk about your vision. You need to talk who is your ideal client. And also, if you have a call to action, you want somebody right there to buy your services, to buy your products, you need to throw it up there. You never know who is listening. You never know whether that is in social media, because we post this kind of, events in social media, but also the people that are right there. And if they don't do it right there, they will remember your presentation, how outstanding it was, and then how firmly you speak, because that's how you sell a product. You have to close the deal, whether that is in that moment or after, but people will remember your name. And closing out, how people can reach you, how, your name again, and your business. That's very important every time that you present your business.
So true. Thank you, Roxana, so much for sharing your vision and your organization that you're founding here. And I want everyone to understand that the future of American business isn't about choosing one language over another. It's about building those bridges and connecting people, just like you are at the Spanish Small Business Association. So please go to the website, join Roxana and the team of successful entrepreneurs who are setting an ecosystem for the future.
Exactly. And I want to close out with this. So there are 3 events, like I mentioned. So I'll talk about the first one. So the second one is the Spanglish Connector. But this month also, we are going to start working with the city of Charleston, the entrepreneurial center and the resource center in downtown. They are seeing the potential of this. We need a connector. So whether you speak English, whether you speak Spanish, just come and join us and pretty much just get, the judges will be Miss Ruth Jordan, that she's the manager of the center. So she knows a lot of things. She knows how to get connected. She will tell you exactly what you need to register with the city, what kind of permit you need in order to you be able to work, not just with the city, but everybody else that work with the city. So what an amazing opportunity is that. And every single month, I'm going to host those 3 events. You have 2 Latina Beach where you can come. So I'm going to set this, if you want to come over and over, because visibility and consistency, that's how people remember your name. So you need to keep coming and then get better and better and better. And then, you never know. Today I was talking to a bank, and people are watching, people are seeing, and big corporation can help us to grow this movement for sure.
Yes. Thank you so much.
How many city council meetings have you attended? How many outrageous meetings have you attended and you were afraid to speak up? Well, it's time you master Robert's Rules of Order. We do training at Generations for America, and you will learn what is a deliberative assembly and how organizations create rules to conduct business. Roberts is about protecting the rights of its members, of the majority, of the minority, especially a strong minority greater than 1/3, of individual members, and of those absentees. Stop allowing a small group of people to create crazy rules and running organizations. You have the right of a member to speak up. Our next session will be September 4th through October 2nd. We do this by Zoom from 7 to 9 p.m. Register today at generationsforamerica.com. Thanks for listening to the Ingrid Centurion podcast. Be sure to join me every week as we bring you inspiring guests, facts, and hard-earned lessons. Find us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or in your favorite podcast app. If you would like to be a guest, get involved, or find out about sponsorship opportunities, reach out to us at ingridcenturion.com or generationsforamerica.com. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, and we'll see you next week, so tune in for more conversations.